blue skies smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see, and bluebirds singing a song, nothing but bluebirds all day long. Never saw the sun shining so bright, never saw things going so right, noticing the days hurrying by when you're in love. Oh my, how they fly. Oh, blue days, all of them gone, nothing but blue skies from now on. Never saw the sun shining so bright, never saw things going so right, noticing the days hurrying by when you're in love. Oh my, how they fly. Oh, blue days, all of them gone, nothing but blue skies from now on. Blue skies smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see. And here we are.
And here we are. It's Barb and Salo, BS in Fresno, and I am Dr. Salo Stanley, and I'm a chiropractor, sound therapist, paranormal researcher, psychic, and all that sort of stuff in the universe. And I was talking into the wrong camera. Now it's much better.
That one, yeah.
So yeah, we got this going. We got new lights, so I hope it doesn't show every line in our face right now. But and this is Barb.
Hi, I'm Barbara Heinzelman, and I'm a massage therapist, Reiki master, and what else do I do? Oh, myofascial release here in the tower.
Yeah, you sell some Watkins.
And I also sell Watkins products.
That's right. And our receptionist, who isn't here today, Toby, our dog, is our receptionist at our office, and so he always usually helps us out with greeting patients. Mm-hmm. It's just very nice. We don't have to pay payroll tax or workers' compensation for that.
Just
so
room and board.
Good. Yes,
and
for
health
sure.
care.
And healthcare. Yes, not too bad. And he never gets sick. He's pretty good. And a little biscuit here and there just makes him very happy in the universe, for sure. But we recently had Max the Crystal Skull come to our office. We had about 90 people come.
Yes. It was a rockin' good time, and if you weren't there, you missed it.
It was great. We had it over at Reverend Steve Center in Madera. It is such a long ass name.
What, Max the Crystal Skull or the Madera?
No,
the Madera Center, or the
Religious Center for Spiritual Living. Yes. So
something like that.
Please forgive me,
Reverend
forgive us
Steve, for butchering that.
Yes, and Maureen too, for sure, and everything. So yes, it was a great turnout. We had wonderful sittings at her office with Max the Crystal Skull, and I was even able to do a ghost box session or a spirit box session. We'll talk shortly about that too. Mm-hmm. But what I wanted to talk about a little bit today was a little bit of the spiritual energies that are happening right now on the planet. And you probably think, what the hey? What's going on with all the energies? And who the heck are you, Sala, to even be talking about this sort of stuff? But I had a spiritual awakening in 1992 after crystal healing. And from that, I was able to have some of my intuition or psychic abilities come online. And so I have a little bit of what you want to call it, guides or angels, or just your higher self speaking with you in the universe. But what they were telling me is that right now with the energies, also astrologically, the stars, is that we have had Neptune has actually gone into Pisces over the last couple weeks, and it's going to be in that sign for the next 13 years. Well, what the hey does that mean? Well, what that means is recently we've had Aquarius in Pisces, or Neptune, excuse me. And what that means is that we had a lot of technology the last 14 years, computers, networking, our wonderful telephones, the flat screen televisions, the internet, us, having that nice connection. And now going from the internet, we're going to the internet of ourselves, Pisces and Neptune is kind of like now, instead of going into polarity consciousness like good or bad, male or female, black or white, we're going into unity consciousness here on the planet. So it's almost like Pisces is the fish, going through the sea of this grouping of fish, and we're going into that unity and group consciousness coming up. A lot of our dreams are going to be coming true over the next 13 to 14 years, and our imagination, our creativity, our self-expression, our intuition is all going to be coming online the next few years. We're going to be going green. We're going to have new ways of housing, new ways for fueling our cars, maybe battery-powered cars, and also new ways of doing business. And think about it. I just read an article today on Panera, the wonderful little restaurant now, is not going to have price tags on the food. They announced today that they were going to...
They have a new concept store. They started, I guess, up in Minnesota or Wisconsin, one of those cold countries. And they're going to have kind of a suggested donation price. And it works so well in one of their stores, they're going to implement more stores like it.
Yeah, so, if you want to pay $1 for a sandwich or $5 or maybe more or less, that's great. And even if you walk in there and don't have anything to give, they're still going to make that sandwich for you. So I think it's the wave of the future. It's kind of like what I do at my office at Spiritual Potpourri the first Saturday of the month at 10:30 at my office in the tower. I do this wonderful little lecture about these energies right now on what's happening. We also talk from UFOs to Max the Crystal Skull, crop circles, to our spiritual self-empowerment. And Abraham Hicks, or whatever the subject is, we can tune in with my guides and angels. So, we also have a love donation of whatever people can afford. And I think, that's going to be the wave of the future. We're going to be working together, maybe bartering. We're going to be creating our own jobs, too, and not be a victim to the economy. You create the economy yourself from the inside out, not from the outside in, and that's what it's about. And it's kind of funny, I think you were telling me a story about McDonald's or one of the fast food restaurants when they talked about, not pricing things. Somebody tried to come in as the manager, you were saying?
This is actually a Denny's.
Oh, okay.
It was a Denny's, Madison, Wisconsin is, again, another cold country. America's Diner is always open, but police say a 52-year-old man toting a briefcase and packing a stun gun took the slogan too far when he walked into a Denny's restaurant, claimed to be the new manager, and cooked himself a cheeseburger and fries.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Madison Police Report gives a flavorful description of the bizarre Tuesday afternoon incident at a Denny's on Thera Road. He never announced he was from one of the pros from Dover, but the briefcase-toting gentleman wearing a maroon tie and a long black trench coat was quite clear. He had been sent by corporate, and he claimed he was the new general manager, that he had worked for the restaurant chain for 30 years and was starting his new job right now. And police say the gray-haired man with the goatee proceeded to walk into the office of the 38-year-old restaurant manager, and the two got into a nose-to-nose as the man asserted his new role as she told him she thought not. And while the manager began making calls to the corporate chain, the man walked into the restaurant's kitchen and proceeded to cook himself a cheeseburger and fries.
All right.
Yeah. That's what happened. Well, not that I'm suggesting that anybody goes to a Denny's and service is not fast enough that you just go ahead and go into the kitchen because they frown upon those things.
Well,
obviously the police were called in on this one.
Well, I think he was getting ahead of our story about what the wave of the future is. Even if you don't have any money, just be creative and just do it.
Well, he got to eat about 3/4 of the cheeseburger before he got taken in.
Oh, well, that's kind of cool.
I don't know about the fries.
Well, Denny's have improved some of their food, which is great, and we like to promote a lot of restaurants here in Fresno, but if you want a little ambiance, the Denny's over by Olive and 99 has a lot of good ambiance there.
Yeah.
Over there by Motel Drive,
It has.
There's a lot of business women there that eat.
Yes, a lot of working girls.
Yes, with their cell phones that use Denny's as an office. So yeah. Fishnet stockings are optional too.
That's right. I saw one that looked like Lieutenant Uhura from Star Trek.
Yeah, she had her hair all pinned up, very futuristic looking.
Except I think Uhura looked a little bit better.
Yeah.
Right.
So we had lots of fun. And especially, too, we always like to eat at the Triangle Drive-In over on Belmont. What other place can you have a nice cheeseburger and be across the street from Belmont Cemetery? That's kind of cool.
Yes.
But if you're a paranormal investigator, it works really
awesome.
well because you can eat your lunch and then go do an EVP session and talk with the ghosts on the ghost box afterwards. So.
Yeah, just hop across the street and there you are.
It makes it very convenient. So we took our friend Elizabeth to Triangle Drive-In, and of course there was a working girl there.
Well, not at Triangle. It was across the street at the gas station.
Well, you can explain it better than me how she loved it.
No, well, there's only so many things you can do with blue leopard print.
Yeah. But it was great.
Yeah.
So we always tell our friends, we always bring them for the ambiance and lots of fun and adventure. And the heck, there's lots of good restaurants south of Shaw Avenue. And
yes, there are.
Where everything's happening here in the tower.
In fact, you're probably saying, what are some of these restaurants? Well, I've composed a little list just off the top of my head. There's many more, and I know I've probably forgotten several. So please don't get mad at me, or if you would like for us to come eat at your restaurant, let us know, and we'll be glad to do that. Okay, so Al's is a good place. That was one of the first places. Olive in 99. Hey to Anna, Al, Cynthia, Sandy, Jessica, Brandy, and all the girls.
Yeah.
And I posted a picture of their concha tostada on my Facebook page, Barb Heinzelman Facebook. Find me. Yeah. Also, Al's has a Facebook page too. You can look at the picture there. But it was a beautiful picture of the concha tostada.
Well, it was so beautiful that one of my patients who live up in Northern California actually stopped at Al's to get
a concha.
Yeah, the tostada.
The concha.
Yesterday, in fact, before her sound treatment. So
that's Facebook does good advertising.
Yeah,
and Al's makes good food. And it's American and Mexican food. You can get burgers, great salads. And
they're open till like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They don't serve dinner, but a lot of breakfast and lunch. It's great, and we just love it. We love promoting small businesses because that's what it's about. It's the way of the future. And right now we're going to go to a commercial, and we'll talk some more about these restaurants and the energies going on in the planet right after this. CentralValleyTalk.com. And we're live again. I'm Dr. Salo Stanley, and
I'm Barbara Heinzelman.
That's right. We were talking about restaurants, and during the commercial break, we ended up getting a little orb in the corner of our screen here. But being a paranormal researcher, I think we debunked it as a reflection off the lens. So if you see that, I told Mike we would name it Roy Orbison.
But I know,
we're terrible and everything. But just going back to the energies on the planet today and the restaurants that we're going to go, we're just going to name a few more restaurants, and then I'll talk about the energies, and we'll go to Max the Crystal Skull.
We talked about Triangle, we talked about Al's. Let's talk about Joe's Steakhouse, because they were so nice about letting us have our CD release party there.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
They're
it's like,
on Van Ness, next to the circular parking garage. They are just awesome folks, awesome food. They have got great specials. They also have a Facebook page. Check them out. Check out their specials, because they're just really good people, good food.
Mm-hmm. And Joe and Maribel and everybody else.
Yes.
They're like really, really cool. We love it. Mm-hmm. And we recently went last week to the Fresno Hofbrau. That was really kind of cool, because you can get, like, if you really want a turkey sandwich, they carve up the turkey and
right in front
carve up the Reuben, and you can get rye bread, and you get any kind of sides you want, which is kind of great. So, if you want rice or veggies or anything like that. So it's kind of cool, and it used to be where the old Coney Island hot dog place used to be, and we loved the energy in there, because if you do go in there are a few ghosts. It's kind of cool and everything. So,
yeah.
And who else we got?
Oh, we got, let me see, Richard's Prime Rib and Seafood on Belmont.
Yeah. If you like a really good prime rib or steak, I mean, they rock.
They do.
And good fresh
lunch
bread.
And dinner.
Yeah, it's just
their garlic bread is just to die for, and they give that to you complimentary on the table. And
yeah, so
everything there is just absolutely wonderful.
And that's on Belmont, and it looks a little ragged.
But it's got that beautiful sign.
It's got a great ambiance inside, and it's just fun. It just reminds you of going back to the 1960s, where all the businessmen used to have cocktails.
Yeah, there was a 3 martini lunch.
Yeah, right, which doesn't exist anymore now. Maybe it's a 3 doobie lunch or something.
I don't know. 3 steak lunch, something.
And the other place that we like, recently we discovered, is a wonderful Mexican place on the Visadero
called Fajita Fiesta. They're across catty corner from Bar Brothers. So if you need a good tux, go to Bar Brothers too. Yeah. Because they're really cool. They're also locally owned.
Yeah, they're getting a good grid going over there, at the Bar Brothers, Fiesta, the club down there.
Ironbird.
The Ironbird. So they're really restoring that area. So, go
support local.
Yeah, that's right. That's what we like. And, of course, on Olive Avenue is the Mezza House. If you like good Greek food, we love going there.
Opa!
Yeah.
We love that. Have great rice pilaf, great everything.
Yeah, we just love it. So we just had to promote the places that we really liked. And the other place that we ate at lunch today, Cozy Thai, of course.
Cozy Thai in Divisadero. It's the Old Eagle Cafe.
Yeah.
And they've got great Thai food. And so if you're feeling like you're coming down with a sniffle, oy vey, you go down to Cozy Thai.
Yeah.
Go get you some soup and order it extra spicy. It'll make you cry like a little girl.
That's right. It's great. So
Yes.
I love it. So we didn't want to forget about that. So that's great. So going back on the energies on the planet that's coming up, is right now we are having a little slowdown of our energy. Any of our projects that we want to go forward with, we're just going to have to really rethink and get our ducks in a row. The reason is that right now Mars has gone retrograde in Virgo. Virgo is kind of like the sign of getting our details, being very organized. It's a very earthy sign. And Mars is the planet of action, fire, war, let's get this done, let's go full steam ahead, but it's gone retrograde or gone backwards. It's almost like in a little slumber time. And what it's telling us is that we really need to get our things that we really want to do in life over the next couple months in order. Clean our house, get our office in order. If you have any new projects, double and triple check it. Make sure all the people that you really want to be involved are these the people that you really want to do stuff with? Or is it you want to rethink and kind of reevaluate your life and thinking, I don't think this is kind of appropriate. That's going to be retrograde until April 14th. And from there, we get the thumbs up. It's going to start moving forward, and we're going to start getting more momentum in our life. Right now, you can probably feel like you're kind of moving through mud, maybe not sleeping very well, things being a little bit in confusion, and not having clarity. So it's real important just to kind of just relax, do your organization, get those things done. If you're writing a book, get the book done. If you're having a new business, make sure everything is organized before you open that new business. And a good time for opening a good business would be at the end of April. You don't want to be doing it next month when Mercury is going to be in retrograde. And you can read about that on my website under astrology, under Salo Sounds. That's S as in Sarah, ALOSOUNDS.com. And that's a website that has astrology and lots of other energies and videos and sound therapy, which I do, and explain that. It's kind of cool. Then in June, full speed ahead. Buckle your seatbelts, because then we're going to have lots of new projects, new energy coming in for June all the way through 2012 of December. Everything that the Mayans have talked about for thousands of years, about this no time to the Mayan calendar, and what the heck is that about? Well, it's about you spiritually waking up to who you are. It's about you following your dreams. It's about what makes you happy. It's about not feeling that you have to feel obligated to everything in your life, and getting off the grid, starting that own job of yours, and knowing that these projects and things that you've always dreamed about can come true. And thinking that better feeling thought. Don't be so down in the dumps. Try to think that little bit better feeling thought, and it'll be kind of great. Now, recently we had Max the Crystal Skull come to our office, and I don't know if we can pull up that picture of Max the Crystal Skull that we have in our little file. That's the energy picture. We'll use that for now. Max the Crystal Skull, we used the black and white one, but I'll just talk about this. Max the Crystal Skull, we used that black and white one from our last show and stuff, but if you can't find it, that's okay.
That's the good. I like that one, because that's what he was doing this past past visit.
Anybody that wants to know about what Max the Crystal Skull is, and this is just a new picture, so hopefully it won't confuse you about these colors, because he's just a white skull. And what we found with him is that this was just a white light, and when I took this photograph, you can actually see the waveforms forming in him right now. Normally he's just a white crystal skull. He's been a mystery because he's been analyzed by the British Museum. There are no tool marks on him. There is no way that he could be carved. The British Museum stated that they had no comment on the origin of him, which is kind of interesting.
There we go.
There we go. We have Max sitting.
That's what he looks like
in my Paris room in my home. So that's what he normally looks like. He's just crystal. He weighs about 18 pounds. He was found in Guatemala in 1924 in a Mayan tomb, and one of the Mayan leaders actually gave it to Norbu Chen, who was a Tibetan monk. From that, he brought Max over to Texas. He started a healing clinic there with the monks, and from that, a lot of people came from far around just to come see Max and also get some healings with the Tibetan monks. Joanne Parks, who now is the caretaker of Max, in the 1970s, her daughter was very, very ill and only had a few months to live. And so she decided to take her to this clinic with Max and the Tibetan monk, Norbu Chin. And her life was extended for an additional 3 years. And so Joanne was very impressed with that she decided to stay there at the clinic and volunteer and help with Norbu Chin for an additional few more years. And on Norbu Chin's deathbed, he actually gave Joanne Parks custody of Max the Crystal Skull and said, someday you'll know what to do with it. And so for 10 years, she had Max the Crystal Skull in her closet in her house in Texas. She was a little housewife, and she just didn't want to have anything to do with it. And she actually saw a TV show that actually had the Mitchell Hedges skull on it, which is another famous crystal skull, and she said, oh my God, I had one of those crystal skulls in my closet. And she called up the TV station, and just to make a long story short, she was able to find out about Max a little bit more through Nick Nocerino, who was a world-renowned expert on the crystal skulls, and he was really looking for this particular skull, Max, that actually has like a little beret around it. But that beret is just what we call crystal inclusions, and from that, some of the scientists stated that he was actually formed from junk crystal, which means that he was formed from the bottom up from the matrix, that most jewelers would throw that away, and even if you took a tool to it, it would shatter. So he is a mystery. I know that a lot of my patients have actually had some healings, seeing Max the Crystal Skull. Other people have had spiritual awakenings. Their intuition had gone online. They were able to talk with their guides and angels. They've actually seen colored lights and orbs. And this last time, with that colored picture that we just showed you, that purple stripes, there was no special effects. We took this with my cell phone, and you can actually see the purple stripes because he was actually vibrating. And from that, I think we're going to go to a clip where he has him, Max is just vibrating, and I think we have a little film of that in my home, and I'll narrate over that. If we can kind of bring that up, that'd be great. And here we are with Max at my house. He's vibrating. I don't know if you could see it on film here. Yes, there he is. Yes. That you can actually see the waves, and I think I actually bring the camera in a little bit closer on this video, if this is the right one.
Yeah, you can see the horizontal.
All right, so now I'm bringing the camera in, and you can actually see it's like an old television in a way, where you used to see the horizontal lines, you know, before you tried to focus it. And I was just so amazed. This was taken a little bit after 12 midnight on February 4th. And like I said, there is no special effects. There is nothing that can kind of explain this. And I actually caught this on my flip camera. Now you can even see that they're getting more strong, these waveform there on the video. I just love it. I'm kind of scanning down to his orbits of his eyes and some of the inclusions there on Max. There's his teeth and his jaw. He's very anatomical correct, as feeling him, the way they were carved, he's very accurate to the human cranium. Being a chiropractor, we had to study bones, and so it's very interesting, some of the markings on his jaw.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
Yeah.
That's what Max will do. Yes, Max actually will disturb electronics.
As you just saw, and although Mike was still saying that,
My voice was looping, and that's never happened here. So, if you're not a believer, that's okay, but, he really manifests really interesting energy.
just saying, sharing this, these areas can't sit out, almost like the Alexandrian Library, but instead it's considered the Galactic Library of the Universe. So anybody that touches them can actually get a download, a file to answers in their life or
Other type of answers that they have questions to if they're ready for it. And so they were 13 of them,
and from that they were dispersed all around the planet. But when the planet changed some of its planetary grids and it began to crash a few thousand years ago, a lot of this ancient knowledge was lost, and a lot of the shamans actually hid these crystal skulls in temples or underground caves on different parts of the planet. So with Max, he was discovered in the Guatemalan tomb, and what my guides have said is that Max is considered the 13th skull. It's the master ET skull that actually coincides with the other laptop computers, or the other 12 skulls in the universe. And he is actually holding a lot of information for the planet right now. Also, Max is just very interesting as a computer in a way, galactically, with this information. And sometimes I kind of go in a channeled state when I'm talking about him. So some of the information that's coming through right now is he's kind of explaining to me a little bit, is he's here to be a reflection of who you are. So when you come in contact with him, it's like a mirror. And it's almost like humans, when we have interaction with each other in our everyday experience, a lot of times you may come to occurrence with someone and they may just be saying, you're always doing this or you're always doing that. Well, a lot of times they're projecting what they're doing in a way. And so when you sit with Max, he's projecting what you're doing. So whatever emotions, if you feel joyful or you feel like crying, you're just releasing all the different things about yourself in order to release those old paradigms of thought and bringing in more of your higher self energy, which is really fascinating. Now, as a paranormal researcher, I did what was called a spirit box session with Max. And just to explain shortly what a spirit box or a ghost box session is that it's a radio that's altered so it scans the whole frequency rate of the radio stations. Many can be altered by a Radio Shack hack, or Frank Sumption was the first person to actually make what they call a radio box, a Frank's box, way back in about 10 or 12 years ago. And then there was the Radio Shack hack a few years ago, where you actually went into the radio, bent the mute pin, and what that did is instead of pushing the digital button to scan the stations and then it would lock into a station for you to listen to music, it would just continually scan. What the theory is behind this is that other highly evolved beings or spirits or ghosts can actually use bits and fragments of words to form and to talk on the radio to you when you ask questions. Now, the radio that I use is called a PSB7. It's invented by Chris Fleming and Gary Golka, who's a wonderful inventor. And what this radio does is has a frequency rate of scanning the stations at least 6 to 7 stations a second. So it's almost nearly impossible to actually get a full sentence or even a word within that 1 second. And so on this video, what you're going to see is a pair of speakers sitting next to Max the Crystal Skull. And on that is the radios inside the speakers that I devised. And I'll be asking some questions so you can hear the radio scanning. What's interesting is that on this video, I asked where Max was from, and he said Arcturus. Arcturus is a planetary star system near Sirius in a Milky Way galaxy. I also asked if the masters formed him, because what I was told by Max is Max told me he was formed with actual consciousness from 3 very enlightened masters in the universe that used light and sound and their consciousness to come together as a holy trinity in a way, to be focused in that one moment to create this skull of information and to download this information of the galaxies for us, which is kind of interesting. So on this video you'll hear, where are you from? He says Arcturus. And then I asked, where are you from again, Max? He says, you can hear a woman's sing-song voice say, at home, which is interesting because Max has a wonderful sense of humor. And lastly, I asked, did the masters form you? And he answers 3. 3, 3. What was funny is that Joanne Parks, who owns Max, heard that, came into the room and said, you guys are having way too much fun. What's going on? I told her what happened in this video, and she was almost floored by the information because she just got back from a session with Max in, I think, the South in Arkansas, with a wonderful channeler out there. I won't mention his name, but he channeled the information that Max actually came from the planet Arcturus and that 3 masters formed him. And I didn't even know that information. So not only did I get that intuitively, but I also got it on the spirit box with this Max session, and we're going to just play that video for you right now.
Max, can you say Max?
Hey. Hey. So, how come you're coming out with stripes on the photographs? What's going on with that? Where do you come from, Max? Did I hear a tourist? Where do you come from in the universe, Max? Home? Did consciousness form you? Did the masters form you?
I think in the video you also heard him say Barb's name. What are the odds of that? Because a lot of times on the radio you'll hear Barbara, you don't really hear Barb. So Barb was sitting right next to us when we were doing this Ghostbusters session. And there's another clip I have that I didn't show, but maybe on a future show when I messages for us, me and Barb, and Max said the flaming couple. What are the odds of that? It's like, I never even heard that kind of phrasing. And to say the flaming couple within 3 seconds, I mean, you just can't get that over radio that's scanning, 7 stations in 1 second. So it's just really interesting for the research. We got a lot of information from him. Also in that video, you saw them say, play and be calm. What my guide just said is that you really have to be in a relaxed state, almost a channeled state, a meditative state, in order to have contact to the other side. You have to have that heartfelt connection, that desire, that playfulness like you were as a kid, inquisitive, and also be in the same frequency of your brain waves in a way, because a lot of times psychics can actually talk in telepathy with other people. They've done studies, is in alpha wave. So it's real important to be in that alpha wave state. Most of the time when we're awake, like we're talking right now, is beta. When you talk to a psychic, they're in alpha wave state, or it can also be a little bit lower, like in delta, which is almost like dream time or sleeping, but yet can still be awake talking to you. And a lot of scientists have actually put electrodes on psychics and mediums' foreheads and actually measured the electromagnetic frequencies of that. And alpha wave is around what Earth's frequency is, which is Schumann's resonance, which is 7.8 hertz, which is interesting. And right now, as we're talking, we're in 13 hertz when our brain waves are going. So I only know that because I'm a chiropractor and we had to study all that. So, not to bore you and everything, but I know, wasn't that fun? I mean, just the energy of the picture, the videos that we caught him talking, and I have so much more that check them out on YouTube. Get my numbers up. All you have to do is type in Salo Stanley, and my YouTube videos will come up. Check out Spiritual Potpourri. We're going to talk a lot more about him on March 3rd, 10:30 at my office, 410 West Olive Avenue, Suite 101. And we're going to also try to have that up live streaming on the internet too from our office. So we're going to be having fun with that. We're also going to be showing Abraham Hicks live streaming at our office in the future, some more workshops and some other things. I want you to say what you want coming up before we do a song.
Okay, so but also if you want to find out about all these events coming up, join Meetup and find the Lightworkers Foundation. So you can find that. Also coming up on March 24th, it's a Saturday, is Reiki 2. If you've taken Reiki 1 as a prerequisite, I'm offering Reiki 2 as learning how to send. It's more of the mental part of Reiki. Reiki 1 is more hands-on. Reiki 2 is more mental, and it goes from 9:30 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon. Bring a snack, lunch, wear comfortable clothes. Check out www.barbhcmt.com for more information. It's $150 in advance, $170 at the door. And like I said, just the only thing you need to make sure you had is Reiki 1.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's all about that. Or we're going to go to commercial, and after that, we're going to come back and do a song for you, and then hopefully we'll also have Peter maybe join us.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
All right, we're back, and we're going to play a couple songs. Barb is a wonderful singer here in town.
I'm looking at the monitor. These glasses make me look like Amy Farrah Fowler from Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, kind of a little bit.
Oh, geez.
I love that show.
I do too.
I know, but you always call me Sheldon.
Well, I'm Amy Farrah Fowler, so it works.
I know.
Life goes on day after day. Hearts torn in every way. So ferry across the Mersey, 'cause this land's the place I love, and here I'll stay. People, they rush everywhere, each with their own secret care. So ferry across the Mersey, and always take me there, the place I love. People around every corner, they seem to smile and say, we don't care what your name is, boy, we'll never turn you away. So I'll continue to say, here I always will stay. So ferry across the Mersey, 'cause this land's the place I love, and here I'll stay. And here I'll stay. And here I'll stay.
Cool. That's a fun song.
I know, I love doing that. And then we're going to play, we're going to do a little Drunken Sailor, a little bit ahead for St. Patty's Day.
In preparation of St. Patty's Day, and
Yes, that's
and
right.
the time of year when my last name goes from Heinzelman to O. Heinzelman.
Yes, I love it. And Barbara always told me when she did this song when she was a kid.
It was really cool
Yeah.
because I was in elementary school when I learned the chorus of the song, and Mrs. New, my elementary school music teacher, would just teach us the chorus of the song, and she never really told us the title of the song. So it wasn't until I was an adult and I realized that there were other verses to this song, and I kind of understand now why she didn't want us to know all of the verses, because
Yeah, shave your.
it's
shave
rather
your-
it's unsavory to sing
Say-
on the elementary
for
school
children.
playground.
Shave your belly with a
Rusty.
rusty razor.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and some other verses that you'll hear.
It's not good. And we're bringing in Peter.
We're bringing in Peter.
because we love him.
Can I,
Yeah.
are you
Anywhere-
Are you using this?
No, you can sit on that.
Let me skip it.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh
We
wait,
can't.
you can't sit on that. I have to. Use
She
that
has to use that.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But-
Where was that stool?
What, the stool
I
that I'm
know,
sitting
I
on?
can sit-
Can
I
you do this?
Oh, yeah, I can.
You can-
I
we can have that?
I'll
There
be
we go.
right here with it.
Okay.
There we go.
And it's in the key of D minor, right?
Yep, D minor.
Yeah.
And,
D minor and C. Just
yeah, we got
yeah,
it.
it's an easy song. Way hey and up she rises. Way hey and up she rises. Way hey and up she rises early in the morning. What do you do with a drunken sailor? What do you do with a drunken sailor? What do you do with a drunken sailor early in the morning? Way hey and up she rises. Way hey and up she rises. Way hey and up she rises early in the morning. Put him in the scuppers with the hose pipe on him. Put him in the scuppers with the hose pipe on him. Put him in the scuppers with the hose pipe on him early in the morning. Way hey and up she rises. Way hey and up she rises. Way hey and up she rises early in the morning. This is hoist him aboard with the running bow line. Hoist him aboard with the running bow line. Hoist him aboard with the running bow line early in the morning. Way hey and up she rises. Way hey and up she him in bed with the captain's daughter. Put him in bed with the captain's daughter early in the morning. Way up she rises, way up she rises, way up she rises early in the morning. Shave his belly with a rusty razor, shave his belly with a rusty razor, shave his belly with a rusty razor early in the morning. Way up she rises, way up she rises, way up she rises early in the morning. Give him a pint of Irish whiskey, give him a pint of Irish whiskey, give him a pint of Irish whiskey early in the morning. Way up she rises, way up she rises, way up she rises early in the morning. Way up she rises, way up she rises, way up she rises early in the morning. What do you do with a drunken sailor? What do you do with a drunken sailor? What do you do with a drunken sailor early in the morning? Arr! Arr!
Well, thank you.
Right.
Thank you, Peter.
This is our good friend Peter. Our good friend Peter Mordek, whose show comes right on before us. We just love Peter. We've known him for years, and we love playing music with
I'd
him.
say about 8 years.
Oh, maybe 9.
Really?
Maybe,
Wow.
who knows, 8 or 9. I don't know.
Time
It's
has
been a
been
long time.
flying. Yeah.
We love it. It's
Yes.
so- yes. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you.
I love it. Doesn't Barb have a great voice?
Arr!
Yeah, and that song is on our CD, BS in Fresno. You can get it on Facebook under Barb and Salo, BS in Fresno.
We have BS and President Barb and Salo. We have our own Facebook page. Check us out, Barb and Salo. We
Yeah,
need some more
please
likes.
like us.
Yes,
Yeah,
please like us.
we like it.
Please
Yeah.
like us.
Please.
Now,
Yeah.
like us.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Was that shameless promoting?
It
of
was
what?
shameless promotion and everything. So I will promote you a little bit. If you ever want to have a good massage, Barb is a wonderful massage therapist, and she's in my office at 410 West Olive Avenue, Suite
Thank you.
101 in Fresno. And they're fruit and olive. It's actually on Vagides in a little gray house. And you'll be greeted by our dog Toby, and he's our receptionist, and you'll just love it. We also have a little library for checking out books. We have wonderful videos there.
We usually
wonderful
have
workshops.
Abraham Hicks playing all the time in the waiting room.
And now we got we got the internet there, so now we have a small little computer that I bought for my patients so they can surf the web.
And it's fast.
It's really fast with that Comcast
Yes,
business.
yes,
Yeah,
fast.
yeah.
No slow skis
I
there.
don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're cracking me up, Salo.
I know. But so that's, and then if you want to come in for some sound therapy, come, give me an email at Salo2, S as in Sarah, ALO, the number 2 at Comcast.net, or you can find me on Facebook and just say, hey, I want a sound therapy. What's that all about? If you want to get more relaxed, get more in touch with your guides and angels, just have more clarity in life and not feel so stressed. We use tuning forks on acupuncture points, which is kind of cool. I'm also a chiropractor. I've been doing that for 25 years, but I still, if you need a chiropractic adjustment, I will do it. But I really would like it if you have that really good consciousness going along with it. It makes a great sandwich for getting better in the universe. Because I tell my patients, if you get healed, it's your own darn fault. Because it's your positive thoughts that do it and everything in the universe. And anything else that we forgot?
Well, here's a story about a guy who was a little stressed during the holidays. And this was, and in January, a judge in Portland, Oregon, ordered a 45-day jail sentence plus mental evaluation for David Canterbury, age 33, after he attacked Toys R Us customers with a lightsaber in each hand.
Yeah.
Don't put lightsabers in each hand and go attacking customers innocent customers in a store. He was a little stressed. It could have been prevented, folks. It could have been prevented.
Almost sounds like an episode from.
It does sound like Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Right.
don't get that stressed out. Besides, those lightsabers really don't work.
Well, I liked it on Big Bang Theory. They used the lightsabers for when the.
When the lights went out.
Yeah,
you can
right.
look at. They're great for that.
Yeah, that's great. So yeah.
It's kinda
So,
cool.
so don't get all that stressed out. Come see us, get a massage, get some sound healing.
Sound
Come
therapy,
see our dog
chiropractic.
Toby.
Our dog Toby, he's really worth it and everything.
He's really
7
worth it.
years old and he's really kind of cool. He's
Yes,
a
and
little
he's-
Australian Shepherd mix and everything.
He's got great eyeliner on his eyes. He takes a whole hour in the morning just to get ready. He pushes us aside. And
Oh, and I don't want to forget to promote the Lightworkers Foundation, which
yes.
we also started along with Michelle Tidro and Darcy Bellows. And we have the first Saturday of the month at the Tai Chi Center, what we call the Psychic Circle, and you get in touch with your intuition. There's a few exercises that Michelle and Darcy go over to help you get in touch with those wonderful skills and meet other people of like mind so you don't think you're so weird or something in the universe.
go to Meetup Lightworkers Foundation, and you can get all the information on their great Psychic Circle, which will be coming up.
Yeah, and our events and everything. And and this weekend we don't have anybody signed up for it, but we are showing the movie Now Voyager with Betty Davis at our office. You know, I mean, I
You can't
love old
beat
movies.
Eddie Davis.
I mean, we also want to do some Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers stuff too, because I'm a big fan.
Yeah,
know,
and
because,
and one episode we're going to have Salo's story just on Ginger Rogers alone. We
Yeah.
can't do it now. We don't have enough time.
We don't
but
have enough time. I met Ginger when I was 16 years old in San Francisco and ended up being a friend of hers for about 20 years. And one of my best friends at the time ended up being her secretary for about 20 years till the day she passed away. So it's a long story how I met her and the whole journey with that. So hopefully I can go over that another time because, man, she told me stories about those movies that she did. And she also dated Howard Hughes. Did you know that? That was kind of cool.
Yeah, some things about Howard and hers break up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we'll get into that next time.
Yeah, for sure, and everything. And I think we're getting down to almost at the end of the show. We got one more minute and everything in the universe. I can't think of anything else of any of our events that are coming up to make sure that whatever, where we're going to play, keep posted.
Keep
on-
posted because several people have been asking us where we're going to play next. We haven't
music.
decided a date yet, but we will let you know. As soon as we know, we will let you know.
Yes, for sure. And we're hoping that Roger Perry will do a gathering or something down
At Full Circle Brewing.
Full Circle Brewery. That would be kind of great. And then hopefully maybe you can see Peter and us and everybody else and just kind of have a nice little gathering of people and musicians. Because you know what? This town is so talented with musicians here and artists and creative writers. And it's about you following your dreams in the universe. Not listening to what everybody said when you grow up or that you can't make a living doing it. You can do it. And it's about having fun. So we'll hopefully see you next time. Everything in the universe. And I'm Salo.
And I'm Barb, and this is BS in Fresno.
In Fresno.
Going to the juke joint on Saturday night, you know it ain't too far. Taking my shoes off and slinging them more, I'm saving them for the floor. Rolling up my cigarettes at the bar, drinking my whiskey down slow. Waiting for the band to strike it high, and on the dance floor I go. The band's getting louder and the babies are tight. Can't stop having this fun. The temperature's rising, everyone is there. You know it ain't too far. Here comes the snake oil man.